Stuck running in place. This is a dream. That's what we're looking at here, just to alleviate any confusion. We? Well, Sephiroth does hold a level of control over Cloud. It's because of Cloud that Sephiroth has the black materia. Okay, I finally have control again. And we're gonna go find that we are in the village of Gungaga. This is the only time in the game you're actually required to be in this town. A little confused as to why they felt the need to have Cloud go to Gungaga, because this town doesn't really hold any real significance to the character. And it's not terribly close to the Temple of the Ancients, is it? But in the last episode, some horrible shit happened. We were trying to keep the black materia to prevent Sephiroth from getting it. Cloud is standing on top of the forest, look at that. Oh, and he fell into it. We were trying to prevent Sephiroth from getting the black materia, and he had a whole bunch of cronies following him around to help him get it. And one of the problems were that the Temple of the Ancients was the black materia itself. So anybody who tried to get it by completing a series of puzzles inside of it would be killed as the temple shrank and crushed them. So this is where we are now. Nobody can get at the damn black materia, everything's okay. Well, it wasn't quite so good because Sephiroth had all those people following around. Any one of them would throw their lives away at the drop of a hat in order to please him. So it was a problem. We sent Catsith in there because his body was just a sort of remote controlled thing to get it, and we retained the black materia, but Well, Cloud lost his freaking mind at the sight of Sephiroth, and he freaking gave it to him. He gave him the freaking black materia. Can you believe that? It's ridiculous. And so that's the situation we are in now. Cloud lost his mind, gave Sephiroth the ultimate destructive magic, and then attacked Aeris. Well, Aeris seems to think the only person that can stop Sephiroth from using the black materia is her, so she went off alone to go and deal with him. And Cloud and the others, they're gonna follow. Okay, so how are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Well, we gotta go find that sleeping forest. The city of the ancients on the other side of that, and that's where Aeris went. Whatever she thinks she is doing to stop Sephiroth, apparently none of our characters seem to have too much confidence in her. See, here we are, we have to go and follow her, because we think, well, Sephiroth is a dangerous individual, and he, due to his, by his dialogue he had with Cloud during the dream sequence, does perceive Aeris as a threat, so he could do some bad stuff. He could go and kill Aeris or something, if we don't stop, if we're not there to protect her. So that's probably why we're going. Now, I was actually through here some time ago, a couple of episodes ago, but I decided to turn around and leave, because I could have done some stuff here, but there was really no point. Wow, that looks like a crashed fighter jet. I guess there's no reason to believe stuff like that doesn't exist in the world of Final Fantasy VII, considering that they have televisions and computers and electricity and cars and all that kind of stuff, and a friggin' city on top of a plate. I mean, why not? Okay, so if we were to go and pass right through this town, we could enter the sleeping forest right now. But there's a problem, and you're going to see it in a few seconds. I thought I saw something. Wait a sec. Where are we? Are we nowhere? Yep, that is going to repeat over and over again. Oh, jeez, we're back where we started. You cannot get through the sleeping forest. The idea is that the sleeping forest is while sleeping, and it won't let anyone through while it's sleeping. It needs to wake up in order to grant anyone access. So how do we wake up the sleeping forest? Let's talk to this guy. The lunar harp, that's it right there. The lunar harp will wake the sleeping forest, so we gotta start digging for it. We can also dig for other stuff, but right now we're just gonna get the lunar harp. Okay, the way you do the digging minigame is you go and you take guys, costs you 100 gil apiece. They jump into these different locations, and then you go and trigger a small explosion underground, and they triangulate the distance, triangulate where the lunar harp is, based on, I guess, how they're sensing the vibrations in the ground or something. I said to triangulate it, but really you can do it with 2 guys in each position. So let's do this. Okay. This one's pointed in this direction, this one's pointed in this direction. Leads me to believe that the lunar harp is right in front of this one. And when I did my previous playthrough here, this is the second time I'm producing the episode because of a weird crash with the emulator. This was exactly where it was before, so I'm starting to think that it isn't a random location. Let's dig it though. We got it. But you know, we can do this again. I mean, the lunar harp. We can't get another lunar harp, but we're gonna go get some more good treasure. see what they have. That ought to do it. Okay, it's not up here this time, it's down there. Okay, this one was here. Walk in her direction until we go past into this one's line of sight, and we'll do it right here. Does nothing? You suck. Screw this. I'm moving on. Well, he does say he had stuff to sell. Maybe we should check that out. Oh, new armor. All sorts of other stuff we should probably have. But I'm gonna pick up a few diamond bangles. Kind of depleted my treasury there, but you know, you gotta spend money to not die. I got some more materia slots, that's always awesome. Well, now that we have the lunar harp, let's just go through here. Sweet! Now we can get through. What do we have here? Oh. There was something there. There's his! Get it! Get it! New materia. This was a red materia, meaning it was a summon materia. And next fight we get, I'll demonstrate that to you. Which is right. Weird seahorses. Damn it, Cloud, don't upset things. Character's been slowed. Jeez, a little over the top, don't you think? The idea is that it inflicts all 4 elemental damage things. Fire, ice, lightning, and earth. It also just basically took out half of Barrett's MP, so I'm not really going to be keeping that on for very long. So I notice I have Morph on Cloud's materia. Not something I want to keep there. Water ring. Now this is a fairly important thing. I mean, right now I have a ribbon on Cloud which protects against abnormal statuses. but we have the water ring, which drains water attacks, and we're going to be fighting some enemies up ahead which use a lot of water attacks. So I'd recommend equipping that, even if you have the ribbon. Alright. It's a weird place. You mean to tell me the ancients actually lived in a dump like this? More the same. How did Aeris get through here without getting killed? Whoa. Weird looking monster. Ah, you suck. He ate Cloud. This son of a bitch just ate Cloud. You believe that shit? Are we gonna get Cloud back? Oh, there he is. Okay, we're back on the world map. We're not gonna be traveling very far. Just far enough for us to reach here. Oh, wow. The music is weird here. It's a little bit different from what we've heard in the game so far. I mean, I have a feeling that the music in this area was specifically designed to sound weird. It's not just a limitation of the hardware as a save point. I'm gonna fire up a tent while I'm here. Looks kind of like a materia there, a gigantic materia, which isn't really unusual. Remember, the ancients were in communication with the planet, and they used things like they used the spirit energy to sort of communicate with the planet, and that's basically what that materia is. So it's reasonable to think that the spirit energy of that's basically the same thing as Mako, or same thing as materia. Jeez, I'm screwing this all up. Aurora Armlet. What does that do for us? Drains cold attacks, but I end up losing a pair of materia slots. If I give it to one of the other characters, though, it works out well for them. Who is going to... They're both in the back row. They're both going to lose a materia slot. So we got Destruct and Long... Ah, jeez. If I get rid of... Okay, it's going to Barret. It also makes him a little more... a little stronger against cold attacks. Not really a big thing right now, but later on. The ancients sure love their weird architecture. What the hell am I looking at? Nothing here? Nothing? Nothing? Nothing at all? Nothing at all. Nothing at I wonder if this city here, the city of the ancients, was, if it's actually abandoned, I wonder if people from around the world come here, like archaeologists and stuff. It seems like the answer to that would be no, considering that the archaeologists outside digging for stuff were looking for the lunar harp. That way they could get through the sleeping forest. And so I guess if they haven't found the lunar harp yet, well, they couldn't get through and they couldn't have gotten here. So maybe ever since the ancients died out, and that was supposed to be something along the order of, I don't know, 2,000 years ago or something like that, the place has basically been abandoned since then. Mine source, guard source, there's nothing back there. We're seeing more and more of these little ancient wisdom balls. Again? Something else to note. I mean, back when we first had our interactions with Sephiroth, back during the flashback at Nibelheim, it was referred to that he was an ancient. He wasn't just some fellow that was really good with his sword. He was an ancient. And he was an ancient because he was the child or a clone or something along those lines of Genova, the monster that they... Ooh, beds. Sweet. It's a good thing you're so well maintained. That he was an ancient because Genova was an ancient. Now we're led to believe, through some lines of dialogue by, say, Vincent, we're leaving here at night. Enemy skill materia. Well, anyway, Vincent referred to Genova as the calamity from the skies, which sort of implies to me that he is not, that Genova was not an actual ancient, just something that arrived from somewhere else, like an alien or something like that. So if Sephiroth wasn't an ancient, then what the hell was he going on about? And why did... It turns out the reason why Sephiroth believed himself to be an ancient was because of the notes that he had read that the Professor Gast had left him. Left in the Shinra mansion. And that sort of led him to believe that he was an ancient. Now, the reason why those notes believed that Genova was an ancient was simply error. They didn't know what Genova was, and they mistook Genova for an ancient because it had a sort of human form, and it was really old, so they figure this thing is ancient, it looks human, it must be an ancient. But it does kind of clear up a couple little bits of confusion, because they captured Aeris because they wanted to experiment on her because she was an ancient. They figured she could lead Shinra to the Promised Land. But if Genova was an ancient and they had Genova locked up in the Shinra's HQ, then what the hell did they need Aeris for? Only answer could be that Genova wasn't an actual ancient, and they figured that out since the time that those books in the Nibelheim mansion were written. And it appears as though Sephiroth is now aware that he isn't an ancient, and he knows he's something else. But he has the wisdom of the ancients because he spent a lot of time in the life stream. No matter how he got there, hasn't been addressed yet. Comet materia. Oh, I'm equipping that right now. That is an awesome bit of magic. Which of these don't I need? It is magic materia. What it does is It's not like a summon magic. It doesn't summon a creature to fight for you, but it does go and brings down this... A comet falls from the sky, and it crashes into the opponent. It's a powerful magic. Not to be confused with the black materia, which is meteor magic. I don't want to make that comparison. Checking to see if there's anything back here. Wow, the ancients built this. This is pretty awesome looking. Of course, the other question has to come up with, what does Aeris think she is going to do to stop Sephiroth? She's obviously not as strong as him. She can't fight him. Maybe she has some weird ancient magic thing up her sleeve. I'm gonna save real quick. Is that really necessary to jump from one... Oh, there she is. The other way, bro. The other way. There. Oh, damn. Oh, music's changed, the red screen. Cloud has his sword out. Starting to think maybe he's not in control of himself anymore. Doesn't want to do it. But he's standing there ready to kill her. Maybe he was right. He can control himself. Yes, that actually just happened. Aeris did just die. And it is probably one of the most significant events in the game in history. And it is probably the most significant event in leading to what ended up being people's opinion of this game as being one of the better games ever made. It went and it took this, I mean, the storylines in games are really not things you're supposed to be taking terribly seriously. But here we are introducing the idea of this character actually just died. And we're not really given a really good reason why she died. I mean, Sephiroth was obviously trying to protect whatever plan he had going there, but we don't know what she was trying to do. We don't know what Aeris was up to when she disappeared and tried to stop Sephiroth. It's one of those things that always, I think, gets brought up with people thinking that this game is overrated, and in a way it probably is. I mean, there's no the amount of success that it had and the what people tend to think of it maybe a little bit beyond what the game actually was. But this is one of those significant moments that you got to think about the reason why people think about the game the way it is. And I say the reason why it was so successful had a lot to do with this scene right here. It wasn't terribly common in games before here for characters to die in this fashion, because ordinarily, I mean, if I were going to kill a character, I wouldn't kill them halfway through the game. I would wait quite a while before I kill them in the last quarter of the game or so to try and build that tension up for a big climax. Instead, what they did is they killed Aeris at what is essentially the halfway mark of the game. And she wasn't some fodder character like Biggs, Wedge, or Jesse were. She didn't exist just to provide a little bit of interaction with the character, a little bit of storyline, and then die in order to antagonize the enemy. She was a significant character with whatever you want to say she brought to the table. And that's what makes this different. Also, I think it's pretty important that you gained access to the water ring prior to fighting this battle. And if you equipped it on one of your characters, you see what happens here with Cloud. He essentially becomes immune to Genova's attacks. I think that's pretty important because you don't want to really have to force the player to go through that scene too many times and have to watch the death of Aeris a dozen times or so before they can manage to defeat a boss like this. Is a puppet? That may be true.